Ireland, job done over Wales, 24 points to 14, bonus point win. First loss for Wayne Pivac in charge of Wales. And Andy Farrell's guys really stepped up. Like last week after that Scotland game, there was a fair bit of talk, even among Ireland fans, that if they were going to get anything out of the Six Nations this year, they would certainly need to step up their game. And I think we saw that in this one. I mean, it's at home, so they're always going to be tough to beat. And Wales, it was a bit hard to gauge how they were after last week's performance over Italy. But, yeah, Ireland, job done, man. 24 points to 14. I'm not sure how many people would have picked it by a bonus point, but they will certainly take that all the way. This is actually the second game of the week that I watched. I know it was the first game on, but that was on at like 3 something here in New Zealand, so I watched it on ITV's Hub on Demand. Afterwards, after having watched the Scotland and England game. Fortunately, I wasn't spoiled to the result, so that was pleasing, because it would have taken something away. Once you know the result, it's really, I don't know, you don't have that kind of same edge to the game. But to be fair, for large periods of the game, it didn't really look like Ireland were going to lose it. So even if you didn't know the result, it still seemed like it was Ireland in the box seat for much of it. That being said, the lead did change. There were times when Wales were in front. They did put Wales under a lot of pressure early with their kicking game. Parks at one point kicked it out on the full, so Wales were kind of under the pump. And they went close, but the Welsh defence held. Their maul defence was pretty solid. But Lama, man, that guy. And this game was kind of typical of that grueling defence that's really hard to break down. I mean, I know there were 6 tries scored, but you generally had to do something exceptional to get a try. And that guy Lama, when he wants to do exceptional, he can really do exceptional. He must have gone through like 4 or 5 guys for his try. Just with those steps of his, man. He makes people look silly. And, yeah, I think, was it Tompkins that he stepped as part of this try? And Tompkins gave him a big tackle a bit later on. But for this one, he was over to get Ireland in front. The Sexton's conversion attempt was a bit of a stinker. But it was 5-0 to Ireland after about 20 minutes. Unfortunately for Wales, Josh Adams went off after like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And he was stretching his leg out for quite a while as if to say, maybe I can run it off, maybe I can run it off. But the amount of time that he was down and the amount of time that he was stretching it out, I was pleading with them, just take him off, man. Do not risk any further damage. And thankfully, I think after about one more set of plays, they took him pretty much straight off. So Johnny McNichol came on fairly early, which is disappointing for Wales because he's been an absolute strike weapon for them. We always want to see the best guys playing, but I think taking him off early was probably the right decision. But even with him off, they still managed to get the next try, did Wales, through Thomas Williams. It was kind of their first real attack into Ireland 22, and they managed to get some pay for it. Alun Wyn Jones with a nice offload in the build-up, bigger to Thomas Williams. It was interesting because I had ITV's broadcast team, and because they had an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Welshman, which again sounds like the start to a pub-related joke, but the Irish guy, I forget who it was. It was Shane Williams that was the Welshman. But either way, the Irishman thought it was Ford and the Welshman thought it wasn't. I thought, benefit of the doubt to the attacking team, man. Like, it's got to be clearly Ford out of the hands. I didn't think it was as a neutral, but if you've got whatever tinted glasses on, you'll probably see it whichever way you want. But either way, it was a try. And that put Wales back in front, 7 points to 5. But then later on, Thomas Williams was linking up with Alun Wyn Jones again, but not in a good way. They had a line out, and Alun Wyn Jones passed it back to him, and he dropped it cold, did Thomas Williams. So Ireland got a 5-metre scrum, and from the resulting play, Furlong managed to get his try. They had advantage from the scrum, but Furlong managed to bury himself over after like 2 phases from the scrum. So 12 points to 7, Ireland go in front. And yeah, that was like a mistake being punished. You can't be knocking it on in that position and expect a team not like Ireland not to punish you for it. And sure enough, they did. Wales did respond well to that. Like they went down into the Irish half, got like 11 phases, but eventually they knocked it on. So it was a good spirited response, but without the pay of points. And man, just before half time, Conway, who had a great game, he put in a kick from his own 22 with not a lot of angle all the way to the Welsh 22. So I just thought, I mean, that's not the kind of thing you would mention in a game, but that was a bloody good kick. So credit to him. Halftime comes with that tight scoreline, and there's a bit of handbags, but they go into the sheds. Early second half, Henshaw and Bigger both go off for HIAs. Neither of them return. They both fail their HIAs, which is pretty disappointing. 46 minutes, the TMO looks at a maul try for Ireland. It's the ultimate you cannot see a thing try. They got like 4 camera angles and there's just bodies everywhere. Again, benefit of the doubt goes to the attacking team. I think that's the right call. The ref was saying on-field decision try. So, yeah, fair enough. That's a try. 19 points to 7. Parks almost gets a try for Wales. Again, they may be a little bit unlucky. This is one where the benefit doesn't go to the attacking team. And you could see his line coming from a mile. They were attacking the Irish line, and he gets a big run up, hits the line at full pace. He busts through the tackles, but as he's stretching out to force the ball down, he does kind of lose it. I feel like his fingers are probably still in touch with the ball, even if it's only minutely. And I've seen worse given. Like it only has to be a fingertip, but they deny him the try. So that was perhaps one that the Welsh fans will look back and think that was maybe a turning point. And then later on from there, I noted down one that I thought was kind of a big turning point. The Irish were under massive pressure. Wales had a scrum not far from the Irish line, and it had been reset a couple of times, and then eventually they win a scrum penalty, and it was just massive. Like that was the moment you could see the celebration from the Irish forwards that like this is a key moment in the game. They managed to hold Wales out. And yeah, they'd been under so much pressure that to finally win that penalty got them out of it. So they didn't concede any points there. Massive for Ireland. The defence, the scrum, was top stuff. 73 minutes. I made a note of this. George North knocks the ball on his own 22. To be honest, I almost forgot he was playing. I know people have been throwing a lot of shade at George North. I thought he was all right last week, even though people didn't seem to agree with me. But I know he had some mistakes, but this week he was kind of not really getting a whole lot of ball. And then again, it's from the resulting play. Ireland, 75 minutes, Conway on the right wing. There's just heaps of space for him, and he manages to go on for a try. He's still got a bit of work to do, but a deserved try for him because he was so solid throughout the game. So, yeah, that's game over. Absolutely, at that point, it was pretty much already job done. But that's the bonus point. So, good reward for Ireland. Byrne misses the conversion. He's come on 24 points to 7. Stunder gets yellow carded on 78 minutes. It's for stuff at the breakdown. He got man of the match. He got a bunch of turnovers, bunch of tackles, but I guess he pushed that one a bit too far. Got yellow carded, and during that yellow card, Wales scored a consolation try at the death. Tipperick from a maul, he stretches out, puts the ball down, 24 points to 14. It finishes. So a good win for Ireland. Like I said, they were relatively in control for most of the game. Early on it was kind of to and fro, but yeah, key moments for Wales, I guess. Mistakes, especially with their handling. Being punished by the Irish showing some proper moments of magic. But yeah, overall I thought it was a pretty good game, man. Stats, run meters, 322 to Ireland, 232 to Wales. And you might have thought a Wayne Pivac team is going to kind of do more of the flashy stuff than an Irish team coached by Andy Farrell. And you might think that the defence of an Andy Farrell team will outdo the defence of a Welsh team. I know they conceded 4 tries. But you look at the tackling stats, 91% for Wales, 86% for Ireland. Wales had to make 175 tackles, Ireland 131. That's a lot of tackles. It's a big defensive game. But you look at clean breaks, Ireland 11, Wales 4. So when they were able to make a break, they were able to really make a break. Whereas Wales had more defenders beaten 22 to Ireland 17. So yeah, that's just like interesting numbers that show, I guess, the way the teams are starting to line up. So you don't necessarily have to beat a guy to beat the line. Possession, Ireland 54%, territory, Ireland 56%, so they edged it. In terms of individuals, Lama 54 run meters, 3 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten, a try and a try assist. Maybe unlucky not to get man of the match, but it was a game where you felt like defensive plays were perhaps some of the key turning points as well. Alan Wynne-Jones, 22 out of 23 tackles. That guy still has got a massive engine on him for a guy his age. But yeah, there was a plastic bag on the pitch at one point. It's not something you see every day. So I think it was Henshaw who had to grab it and get it out the way. But yeah, good win for Ireland, man. Like I said, they're sitting pretty well in the Six Nations at this point. 2 from 2. But an away trip to England awaits them. So that will be, I don't know, are they going to need to step up again? It's really hard to judge based on that England game where England are at because the weather was horrendous. But Ireland at the moment are looking pretty damn good. So we will see. Wales are home to France. So I would imagine France will do the job over Italy tomorrow. So that should be an interesting one in itself. It becomes absolutely must win for Wales. But yeah, congratulations Ireland. Good bonus point win. Commiserations to Wales. But, you know, still some learnings to be had from the game. But nothing else. And the fact that they scored right on the death, I go, shows a bit of fight from the boys. They didn't give up at any point. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one. And yeah, I'll talk to you again soon. See you later. Remember, guys, if you're looking for any Six Nations supporters gear, England Rugby Store has got gear of all the Six Nations teams. You can even get 10% off if you use the code 2cents10 when you're at the checkout. England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, France, and even the very slick-looking Italy jerseys. They've got them all at England Rugby Store. Like I said, when you get to the checkout, apply the discount code 2cents10. That's all one word, and 10 is the number 1 and the number 0. You use that, and you'll get 10% off whatever the price is here. Check it out, guys.